He came from the north when the forest turned black and the wind carried screams. In his hand, a blade bathed in silver. On his back, the weight of centuries of blood. And ahead of him, Castle Dracula, a place where no man returned unchanged, if they returned at all. But what brought him to Wallachia was vengeance. An entire village vanished under a blood moon. No bodies, no screams, just silence. And in the silence, a single symbol carved into a farmhouse door. The mark of the Count. Dracula, not the romantic figure of novels, but a monster, ancient, brilliant, and cruel. One who fed not just on blood, but on fear, madness, and time itself. The hunter knew this might be his final trail, but he sharpened his stakes. He kissed the locket around his neck, and as snow fell, he marched alone toward the shadows. Inside, the air was heavy, thick with rot and whispers that seemed to crawl up his spine. Torchlight flickered on the walls, illuminating tapestries of ancient battles, rituals, and something darker, something alive. Step by step, he descended into the belly of the castle. The grand hall was empty, yet the hunter felt eyes watching from the shadows. Footsteps echoed, not his own. And then, silence. A sound broke it. Drip, drip, drip. He followed the noise to a stone altar, soaked in crimson. The blood was fresh, still warm to the touch. But what froze him was the figure looming above it, a statue of Dracula himself, carved with such precision it seemed to breathe. The hunter felt the weight of his cross against his chest. He whispered a prayer, but the words faltered. Something moved behind him, slow, deliberate. A voice, smooth and cold, filled the room. "You've come far, hunter, but the night is mine." The hunter spun, blade raised, but nothing was there, only shadows that seemed to shift and writhe. A game had begun, and Dracula was always the one to set the rules. The corridors bent in impossible ways. One led to a mirror, but the hunter cast no reflection. Another opened into a library where books whispered in dead languages. The deeper he went, the more the castle bled into him. Memories that weren't his began to surface. Battles he never fought. A woman's face he'd never seen, but mourned. Was it illusion? Or was Dracula digging into his soul? Then a door. Simple, wooden, ancient. It opened before he touched it. Inside, a throne of bone. And upon it, the Count. Not a monster, not a corpse, but a man. Tall, regal, draped in black velvet. Eyes older than empires. A cruel smile on his lips. "You carry silver," he said, "as if pain can kill what time has made immortal." The hunter raised his weapon, but his hands trembled. Dracula stood. He didn't lunge. He walked. Calm, absolute. And with each step, the hunter saw visions. Kingdoms burning. Crusaders kneeling before the Count. Lovers drained in candlelight. The hunter screamed, not in fear, but to stay himself. He struck, blade to chest. Silence. Dracula looked down, smiled. "You think you're the first." And then everything went black. The hunter awoke lying on stone, his blade shattered beside him. The castle was gone. Not in ruins, not in fire, just gone. As if it had never been there at all. Around him only forest, snow, silence. He touched his chest. The cross was gone. But beneath the skin, something pulsed. Something alive or undead. He wandered for days, unable to eat, unable to sleep. The sun burned his skin. The wind carried voices only he could hear. And at night, he dreamed of red eyes, of velvet, of a voice whispering, "Now, you understand." They say a stranger roams the edge of the Carpathians, never aging, never speaking, with eyes like ash and a shadow that moves on its own. Some call him cursed. Some say he guards the world from what sleeps beneath it. But others say Dracula never kills the ones he respects. He transforms them so they can remember forever.